Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching or listening to this from, irrespective of your GMT. My name is Mayowa Olumitutu Alateyeke, also known as Afefe Olukun or Awushe Olukun. I'm here again to talk about a very good topic in Ishishi, and that's marriages of a mariner. Mariner as a career or mariner as a heavenly mate. When people talk about the marriages of a mariner, it can mean more than just literal marriage. In maritime traditions, especially among sailors and coastal cultures, marriage takes on symbolic, spiritual, and social dimensions. One, the sea as the mariner's first spouse. Mariners are often described as being married to the sea. The ocean is seen as a jealous, demanding partner who requires loyalty, sacrifices, and respect. And mariners are often described as being married to the sea. Whatever you do in life, being a mariner could be working with in the entertainment industry. They are referred to as mariner. You working in the financial line, you refer to as a mariner. So you need to know one thing that when you say mariners, heavenly meet or no heavenly meet, or as a career, you are married to the sea. It's a general word. So whatever happens, that should come first in your life. The ocean is seen as a jealous, demanding partner who requires loyalty, sacrifices, and respect. Now, when they say the ocean, I'm not talking about the water. I'm talking about the spiritual being, the deities in the ocean. So, in many traditions, sailors, human marriages were said to struggle because the sea claimed them first. Now, before you get married to someone working in the sea line or marina, you need to consider consider that you need to consider that the sea, the sea god comes first and should be settled. So you settle that first before the marriage can stand or take place properly. Human marriages of mariners. Mariners' marriages on land were shaped by long absences. Sailors were gone for months or years, which made family life difficult. Uh, Day to day, people working in line of marine or marine gods, the career is attached to the marine god. They often said that partner is, we often complain that their partner is not giving them enough attention. No, it's not, yeah, that they are not giving enough attention. What this means is that they should focus on their career properly so that it doesn't cause a kind of setback to, doesn't cause a kind of setback to the business line or to the marriage rather. Say, let's say they are gone for months, meaning you should give them time, you should give them space to focus on their career. Superstition. Some believe this was unlucky to marry before a voyage. Now, marina as a career or marina as heavenly mate. If you say it is not unlucky, you need to understand that you settle them first. If you don't allow them to focus on marriage or if you don't allow them to focus on if you don't allow them to focus on their jobs, it will affect the marriage. It could also lead to health challenges, meaning the partner health challenges for not for the person, but for the partner. And at the end of the day, people will tell you that my spouse or partner is chanting spells against me. It's affecting my no. It's a life of a mariner. If you are working in the financial line or business line, which is believed to be attached to the sea or the ocean, you need to understand that your career comes first. Not because you are selfish, not because you are stingy, but because of the spiritual entity, the deity in charge. They don't accept it. And you cannot do appeasement to change that. Trying to do appeasement to change career or to change, it's like changing the lines on the palms of the hands. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. So promises and vows. Now sailors often exchange tokens like rings, locket, letters with their spouses for faithfulness during absence. Now it is best bet that you whatever you're doing with someone attached to the sea god's career or occupation, make sure that there is a sealed agreement in the marriage. In Africa, you say traditional marriage or church marriage or court marriage. Make sure there is something attached to it and it's standing. And community rituals. Wives of sailors sometimes made offerings to sea deities for their husband's safe return. As in, if you're in a relationship with a mariner or you have a parent as a mariner, you need to know that you also attached to the sea deity for for safety on the both sides. You can also offer appeasement, offering rituals for that, for your safety or for your life generally. It's a privilege. To the spiritual marriages, African Ifa perspective. In Yoruba and related traditions, mariners could be considered children of Olokun or Yumoja, deities of the sea. Such people were thought to have a spiritual marriage to the sea deity, requiring offerings and rituals to maintain harmony. If ignored, the spouse of the sea could bring misfortune or accident on the sea. Now, ritual appeasement, ebo were made so that both spiritual spouse, the sea and the woman's spouse at home, would not be in conflict. 4. Symbolic marriages in sailors' culture. Marrying the mast or ship. Some cultures perform ceremonies symbolically joining the sailor to his ship for loyalty and protection. And that's where you talk about Ogun. They say they're appeasing Ogun and Olokun at the same time. Now, that is when the two comes in line. Not necessarily marriage, no, but ceremonies. Ceremonies just for ceremonies just for safety and a connection with the ship and for loyalty and protection. It's just a kind of appeasement ritual, usually dog offering to Ogun. Now, crossing the line rituals. When sailors first crossed the equator, were treated almost like marriages to the sea, binding them to maritime line. Now, before you take any journey in life, generally you should make appeasement, you should make rituals, so you don't make deadly mistakes, don't make financial errors. So, so whenever you every step in each step you take, life is leverage. It- So when you get to each leverage, you before you level up, do the necessary appeasement or rituals to remove negative energies and to get hidden blessings. So, songs and folklore often portray sailors as torn between the bride at home and the bride at sea. Now, the bride at home and the bride at sea must not have conflict, and that conflict cannot affect the sea. No, it's going to affect the bride at home. Now, this online dating, fine. You need to realize that depending on the career of your partner, you should make the necessary appeasement with the right person, a truthful Onisheshi that will do your appeasement with integrity. It's not just enough to a lot of people don't know much about it. So sending money doing the appeasement doesn't mean it was properly done or it was done at all. Or it was done in the right way, which could lead to problems, troubles. For a mariner, marriage could mean a literal union with a spouse on land. It's a human spouse on land. Marina as a career, like I said earlier, let me say life of a mariner, Olokun in Africa, when when you appease Olokun, depending on your career, you also attaching yourself to it. And when it's a literal union with a human spouse on land, your physical partner and your spiritual partner, depending on being a cast or crew, you should know what you should do. So to make the safety, most people will tell you that appeasement before marriage. You say, what's the big deal? This is the career I'm doing. I don't do appeasement, save money, do this, do that. But at the end of the day, the people are getting into trouble. So instead of getting into trouble, a literal union with a woman spouse on land, do the necessary thing with the right person who knows, who has experience, who knows that this is how to go about it and what to do. A symbolic or spiritual union with the sea or deities. A lot of people say not everybody will have a local pot in their house, but some careers requires it. It's actually a symbol, be- a symbol of spiritual union with the sea or sea deities to acknowledge that you are still with Olokun. A cultural acknowledgement that the sea often takes priority over earthly ties. There is nothing you can do about it. The water takes over. The water quenches. The water nourishes. So you cannot remove that. You cannot delete that. You can't do anything about it. Just accept life as it goes. Accept life as it is, the natural setting. So trying to change career of your partner or trying to remove some of person's job for your selfish interest could ruin the marriage. Not because the partner is wicked, no, but there is a spirit, there is a deity in charge of that career that is affecting. So you need to take conscious of that. Marriages to a mariner, you need to be parents also need to be careful with that. Any career attached to the sea or to the sea god requires all the necessary rituals, appeasement. You cannot skip it with Olokun. No, you can't skip it. So you need to do the necessary appeasement. Moreover, there is what we call Irari initiation. Irari initiation, it's kind of ritual appeasement before starting a career. But once this Irari is done, most people don't even have problem with their marriages. For normal babalawo, they will tell you itefa, and yeah, there are controversial issues on should a female tefa or something, but I'm talking about olokun this time around. And what I'm saying is your career, your job that is attached to the sea, especially financial line, entertainment industry, no matter how small, no matter what your job is in the industry, you must do the necessary appeasement and rituals of olokun. Other careers may not require it, and which they consider a way, kind of spending money, wasting money. But no, if you are working with Olokun, you cannot escape it. It must be on a regular basis. Mind you, Olokun, Yemoja, and when you say river, Oshun, it's like maybe you should go to these water bodies and taste the waters and see the difference. Because when I've gotten issues where funds to appease or look on someone's behalf, the person, the transport fare is too much, blah blah blah. And actually, I was busy, I was this, I was that. Fine, and you go to the river to appease the sea. It's the neighborhood or community where that kind of act is committed would definitely have negative energies around them. It's wrong. It's wrong to appease Olokun at the sea. Now, taking it's just like taking uh salt. That's um salt, normal salt, not sea salt this time around. These are normal cooking salt or cleaning salt. Pouring it on live catfish. What do you expect it to happen to it? So you're going to appease the sea in the river. So it definitely affect the creatures in the river and attract negative energies to the environment. The community development association or whatever is attached, depending on the location of the water body, to affect people around there. And I believe it's an act of wickedness. So marriages to uh, as a mariner, career or heavenly mate. Now when they say heavenly mate, there is something attached to that heavenly mate. Yes, people ask questions, especially those in the prophetic line. Okay, they are not arguing that they are not mariner or no mariner as heavenly mate, but something is attached to it. It's usually carriers. It's usually carriers. And try to find out what the carrier is and take that first. Olókun làgbà omi. Olókun làgbà omi. Gbogbo omi ẹ bọ̀wọ̀ fólókun. Olókun làgbà omi. Whatever career you have, whatever job, that job comes second. The job attached to Olókun, to the sea god, comes first. So, and before you go into any of these careers, make sure that you handle the aspect of rituals and appeasement properly before starting, during the journey, and it's a kind of lifetime thing. Don't skip it. Don't skip it. If you go for it, you skip trouble. It's very good. All right, that's all for now on marriages as a mariner. My name remains Mayo Alum Tutualate Eleke. You can contact me on +234 9030306004 or Bigbemileke Temple, Bigbemileke International Center for Local Innovations. From the city of Ota on +234 8135 122 750. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.